Okay? So let's talk about some of the types of private investing and private money that are out there. Now, these are all things that I've done personally at different times during my investing career, some of them multiple times. So I'm certainly not telling you something I haven't already done. So I want you to see this. First of all, long-term funding. You can use private money for long-term funding, buy and hold deals, right? So you could buy these with some type of private money and then turn around and all the opportunities or options are open to you. Once you buy it, you could turn around and rent it out. You could sell it on a lease option. You could even turn around and owner finance it if those terms are within whatever agreement you have. You may have a mortgage with them that doesn't have a due on sale clause, which allows you then to turn around and resell it. So all of these things are negotiable and can be worked in. So you can do long-term funding. Number two, you can do fix and flip and rehab funding. How many of y'all ever used private money to do fix and flip or rehab, right? I've used private money to do fix and flip many, many times, right? So this has a little bit of a shorter window, probably maybe 6 to 9 months, maybe a little shorter, maybe a little longer. So it's got a little bit shorter window, but there's a lot more investors who would be interested in perhaps doing this. And then the number three, you've got transactional funding. How many of you are familiar with transactional funding? You know what that is? Okay. Basically, transactional funding is one-day funding. Okay. This was basically launched or became a cottage industry when the market crashed. All of the title companies were told you can't do double closings anymore where you would use the end buyer's funds to fund the original buyers. And I can't get into it, but I can explain it to you at the end if you don't understand it. So basically what they said is if you have a flip, right, that you're trying to do same day, each transaction has to stand on its own 2 feet. So the first one has to be fully funded before you can buy it and turn around and resell it, 5 minutes later. So what they do is they're just investors that will loan one-day funding because I never want to say no risk because I guess the title company could like steal it and run off or something, but virtually no risk because they're going to say we won't fund the first transaction until we know the second transaction has been signed, closed, funded, dispersed, we're ready to go, then we'll send in our check. So they know they're just swapping checks and getting their fee, right? So you'll see the timeline on this process is getting shorter, right? So this is one-day funding. Everybody will do that.